Alright guys, got another video for you. I've been working on this for a while, so I've made quite a few updates, etc. Anyway, not to worry, the updates I made I've already given to you guys, so the last video is still relevant. The only change that I made, which you probably won't even notice, is I've moved the code into this state holder right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to I don't know, basically finish off this assignment. Okay, so hopefully you guys were trying to place the states in the right spot. So if I press play on this version, you'll see that I've got Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, and Wyoming. Now, I need to make sure that my locations are correct, that I'm putting in the right ones. So I made that easier for you. If you will use the middle mouse wheel click, it will fill in all of the ones that you've already placed. And you can double check yourself to make sure that you've got this stuff in the correct locations. Okay, so the first one I've clearly messed up is Wyoming. So let's see if I can fix that right quick. So I will right click, let me do it again. I will right click until I get to Wyoming. I think that's it. So I need to use my scroll wheel to get it to the right size, turn it, get it in the right spot, and find an acceptable location right there. That's fine. Then I've got this one here. I'll redo it. California, need to rotate it some, change its size. And Arizona. So I'm just making sure that they're all in the right spot. Yeah, that's that one. I think I already did that one. I don't think I did both Colorado too. Alaska, here we go. Alright, so now I've got them all in there. Okay, so basically this mode that I made makes it where you can check them a little bit easier. Okay, so frame 5, that was my Wyoming one, should have been 1.6 with degrees of 6, and the location should have been 392 and 196, and then I'll go to the next one. Frame 1 should have been -4, let's see, 5, 752, 43, 425. Okay, anyway, so this mode that I wrote in here makes it easier for you, or this makes it easier for you guys to get your stuff in the right spot and the right location. So middle mouse wheel click will put those down for you. Okay, so one thing I'm trying not to do is I don't want to show you all of my code. So I've already done this, so I'm about to put in my stuff so you guys can't see it. I don't want you to, I actually want you guys to do that part, so I'm not going to show you this part of my screen. So I'm going to fill all of mine in right quick. Okay, got mine filled in. Okay, so now I'm going to run this, and you'll see what it looks like when I have them all. So if I middle mouse click, ooh, my stupid Wyoming is off. Let me fix that thing. I'm going to pause it and fix it. Right back. Okay, back. Alright, so now what you should have is where you middle mouse click and all of your states should populate in, and you should be able to see all of them in there. Perfect. Alright, now what you're going to want to do, we want to make it where you can't just place the states anywhere. So like that was clearly not where that state went. And Kentucky doesn't go here, Alaska doesn't go here, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to check the location of where we've placed the state versus where the correct location was. Okay, so if you'll scroll down under the check state location, what you're going to do is you're going to compare how far away from your mouse click did you try to place the state. So basically it's going to be like a check to see how far away is the click location, and you're going to compare and make sure that it's not too far away from where the state actually was. Okay, so what we're going to do is first let's see if we can print the location of where we clicked. So we'll say get global mouse position, and that's going to tell us this is where the user clicked on the screen. And then we're also going to want to know the state's correct location. So print, and then we want to know what is the correct location. The correct location is going to be the state orientation. Oops. State orientation, and then we're what state we're on, current state, and then the third value there is going to be where it's supposed to be. This is the correct location for the state, which is that part y'all filled in. Okay, so let's see what this does. So if we run this, this is going to make it where when we click somewhere, you can see that the states, this is where we clicked, and this was the correct location that we should have clicked. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find how far away those two things are. This little line right here, I don't want to keep seeing that, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go to the, let's see, go to the state selector, and you can comment out this line here. Okay, I'll go back. Alright, so now when I run it, anytime I click somewhere, so this is the right location, so let me put it close. You can see that these two, I was actually really far off. I wonder what I did wrong. Get global mouse position. Let me try that again. Let's see what this is here. Oh, I remember this. It was giving me the second one instead of the current one that I was on. Let me pause it right quick. Okay, so what we're going to want to do to actually fix that is let's go to the state selector, and let's disable this part right here. So disable all three of these things. Disable the printout, and disable the picked false, and disable the new state, load a new state. We'll comment all of those out right there. Okay. Alright, now let's go back to the states map and we'll run this. Now, we know where Texas needs to go. It needs to go right here. So if I click right on top of it, you'll see that the locations, those locations are really close together, right? That's where I clicked, and this is where the current where it should have went. Now it's not feasible to click directly on that particular pixel, but I mean, if somebody gets like within this close, you know, a couple pixels, you want it to actually accept that location, right? But if somebody clicks way over here, the distance is going to be really far away, and you don't want to accept that location. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a distance formula to check and see how far away is the click that the person did. So we can look up the distance formula. So this is, what is the formula for distance between 2 points? And here is our formula right here. So we're going to use this formula to determine the distance from the correct spot. So I copied that formula, and we're going to use that formula here. So I will comment this out, and we're going to want to calculate the distance from the click point. Okay, so I'm going to make a couple variables. So I'll say var x1, because it's got an x1 and x2, and it's got a y1 and a y2. So I'll say x1 is equal to get global mouse position. It's that same thing we used right up there. Dot x. Okay, so that's the x. That would be x1. x2 is going to be the state's orientation on the x-axis. So x2 is going to be this one, dot x. So the first one, this gets us our mouse's x, and this one gets our state's x. Alright, now we're going to want to do the same thing with our y coordinates. So I'll say y1 is going to be equal to, we'll use this mouse position again, but instead of doing x, we'll do y, and then we'll do the same thing with this one here. But instead of using x, we'll use y. Okay. Alright, so now we need a variable for distance. So I'm going to say var distance is equal to, and we're just going to basically plug in those same numbers there. So it's going to be x2 minus x1 plus, and then I'll do y2 minus y1 . Now you'll see that we have a squared on both of these. To get the squared, you're going to use pow. So how that works is pow, and so number, and then to a power. That's how you get, so it would be like this number to a power. So I will say pow from that number squared, so 2. Alright, so then I'm going to want to do that again. So I'll say pow from this number. There we go. And then finally it says we want to square root the entire problem. So then what I'll do is I'll put this whole problem in a square root function. SQRT, that is square root. Alright, so now when we click, it's going to tell us our position. Maybe I should change this to say like mouse position. Like that. Okay. Now let's play this again, but this time we'll also see how far away the thing was clicked. So we'll say print distance, and then I want to know how far was the actual click from the correct spot. Alright, so let's run this. I will say click, and it says mouse position was this spot, the correct location was this spot, and it was 522 pixels off from the correct location. So not so great. Alright, so if I wanted to get closer, I could click closer to it, and you'll see that, oh, I was only 3 pixels away. Now, that's probably close enough. 3 pixels is probably a close enough click to being in the right spot. So now what we're going to do is we'll make a function that tries to see, okay, you got the right distance, so let's go ahead and give them the correct answer. So I'll say if distance is less than or equal to distance tolerance. Now up at the top, I'm not going to scroll up there and look at it because it would move me over all of our stuff, but my distance tolerance was 5 pixels, so I just made that a 5. So if the distance is less than or equal to whatever I determined up there at the top as the distance tolerance, then we're going to want to call this function right here. It just happens to be, that's the right one. We want to call this function here, and we want to tell the function which state was which one were we on, what state were we working with. So I'll just say current state number. Alright, so now whenever I play this, if I click in the correct spot, the state will stick and I will be able to keep playing. Alright, so as I left click on this, if I'm clicking in the wrong spot, it's not working, but if I click on the right spot, it allows the correct spot, and then because I clicked within the correct number of pixels, then I can keep going. I can start adding all these states in. Rhode Island, where are you? Is that right here or something? Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's going to be it for this assignment. There is a built-in distance to function with Godot, but I wanted to show you guys how to do this. I don't even know Arkansas. Oh, that's right there. Duh. There we go. Maryland here. Alright, so cool deal. Great work on this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.